Unstable earth. If we go for the meaning of the word unstable, we get that likely to change or not stable. So unstable earth means the earth's surface is not the stable one, or you can say the sudden change of the earth, or you can say the sudden change of the earth's surface. If I ask a simple question, we can able to see the inside of the earth's surface? Of course the answer is no. So what we are generally noticed, we are generally notice the outside of the earth's surface. So the outside of the earth's surface that consists of different type of landforms. The different type of landforms like mountains, plateaus, plain and many other type of landforms are there. Now what is the main reason behind such kind of unstableness of the earth? Of course the answer is geomorphic processes. If we split the word geomorphic, geo that means the earth, and morphic means the shape or form. So geomorphic processes means that the forming of the earth surface or shaping the earth surface. So geomorphic processes we further subdivided into two types. One is endogenetic processes and another one is exogenetic processes. What is the meaning of endogenetic? It is very easy to remember. That means the processes which work inside of the earth's surface. And on the other hand, exogenetic processes, the processes which work outside of the earth's surface, you can say above the earth's surface. Like as example, if you remember, this is our earth's surface. So if any processes work inside of the earth, if any processes work inside of the earth, so this process is called as endogenetic processes. And if the processes work outside of the earth, if the processes work outside of the earth, the such kind of processes is called as exogenetic processes. So you remember the two type of processes. One is endogenetic, the process which works inside of the earth surface, and the other hand exogenetic, that means the process work outside or above the earth surface. Endogenetic and exogenetic processes again further subdivided into different sub processes, you can say. So endogenetic processes like volcanism, earthquake, orogenic movement, epirogenic movement, and exogenetic processes like weathering, erosion, deposition, transportation. I am telling you few words about such kind of terms. First of all, volcanism, when the hot molten magma comes out from inside of the earth, solidified on the earth's surface. This process is called as the volcanism. Secondly, the earthquake, hope you all know, shaking of the earth's surface is basically called as the earthquake. Next one, the orogenic movement, that means when the two plates collide with each other, there is formation of a mountain. So such kind of process is called as the orogenic process. Example I give you, the formation of the Himalayan mountain. Epirogenic processes, that means when the two plates either upward or downward movement, that means suddenly a block of land going upward. So such kind of process is called as the epirogenic processes. Remember, all these processes work inside of the surface. That's why these processes are called as endogenetic processes. Now on the other hand, exogenetic processes, here weathering, if you think this is a block of land surface or land. So this land break down in small species. So this process is called as the weathering. Next one, the erosion. Very easy to remember. Suddenly a block of land is eroded by different kind of agents like river, glacier. So this is called as the erosion. And what is deposition? Deposition, you can say, there the eroded material suddenly accumulated in the another places is called as the deposition. Example, here may be a block of land. So this block of land by river, some lands eroded. So this is process is called as the erosion. Now after this erosion, this eroded material deposited into another region. So this process is called as the deposition. So here is the erosion takes place, here is the deposition takes place. Now the question, transportation. So this eroded material from one region to another region is basically move. So this process is called as the transportation. Continental drift hypothesis was propounded by Alfred Wegener in the year 1912. Alfred Wegener, he was basically a German meteorologist. He thought and said the continents are moving. During that time, the people thought it was just a silly thing he was talking about. Alfred Wegener tried to find out different kind of evidences regarding this continental drift. He thought in that way, about 250 million years ago, there was only one proto-continent or supercontinent, and he named Pangaea. Pangaea is basically a Greek word which means entire earth, and Pangaea was surrounded by Panthalassa. Actually such kind of thought about 250 million years ago. About 250 million years ago, all the land masses were united together in the form of one land mass named Pangaea. So you see, there was only one land mass was present, which was also called as supercontinent, named Pangaea. Pangaea was surrounded by Panthalassa. So Pangaea was surrounded by ocean, which was named as Panthalassa, when about 250 million years ago. From that time, that means that's why it have been written before 250 million years ago. Right now there is present 7 continents. We all know that: North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, Asia. Australia, that means the Oceania. So that basically the 7 continents are present. So from that time, 250 million years ago, near about the Carboniferous period, to right now, such kind of continents are formed. Now see, Pangaea was broken into several pieces of land and formed different continents and ocean floor. We already discussed that Pangaea divided into different small species of land, and these small species of land formation continents. In the Carboniferous period, the Pangaea was disrupted and broken landmasses drifted away from each other. So Pangaea was disrupted about 250 million years ago during the Carboniferous period. After the breakdown into two small species. Initial time, Pangaea divided into two small species. One is Laurasia, the northern part, and the southern part is basically called as the Gondwana land. See, the northern part was named as Laurasia and the southern part was named as Gondwana land. Particularly in the Triassic period about 200 million years ago. What are the forces responsible for drifts? Of course, the two forces are there. One is differential gravitational force and the force of buoyancy, and the second one the tidal forces. These two forces are responsible for such kind of drift. And the second thing we need to remember, what is the direction of the drift. Of course, there are the two directions. One is equatorward drift and the westward movement. We need to remember some key notes from continental drift theory. First of all, who propounded? Alfred Wegener. In which year? In the year 1912 AD. He was basically German meteorologist. One protocontinent was present named as Pangaea. Pangaea surrounded by water body called as Panthalassa. Particularly 250 million years ago, in the Carboniferous period, Pangaea was broken into different land masses and drifted. The forces responsible for the drift, the differential gravitational force and the force of buoyancy, and of course the tidal forces. Direction of the drifts, of course equatorward drift and the westward movement.